What's good with it? My boy SoloChops. And let's get this cut real quick.
Hey, let's do it.
Hey, damn. Let's get into this interview. All right, bro. First of all, this cut is looking crispy. Appreciate that. Appreciate you having me over here. Let's get into these questions. First of all, bro, who is SoloChops? Introduce yourself to everybody watching.
I would say SoloChops is a teenager that discovered barbering by accident and turned it into a business. I mean, it's not your usual story, but yeah.
How old are you and where are you from?
I'm 18 and I'm from Hurst, Texas.
For people that don't know you, how long have you been cutting hair?
I've been cutting hair for 4 years.
Hell yeah, so you started when you were...
I started when I was 14, so it was an early start.
Okay. What made you want to become a barber at such a young age instead of doing something else?
Look, I think barbering resides in the entrepreneurial side of work. So you get to choose your own hours and you're responsible for your success. So if you don't do the work, you're not gonna get the results.
Who was the first person you ever cut?
The first person I ever cut was my boy Mason. Shout out to my guy. That's actually where I discovered barbering. We were in his bathroom and we just found a pair of clippers and I happened to cut the hair. So that's what happened. That's the story.
What did that first haircut look like?
Look, that first haircut was low-key trash. It was just a little taper, but it got the job done.
Yeah.
And after that, I just improved upon my skills and that's where I'm at.
When did you realize barbering could actually make you money?
I saw the consistency in clients and my ability to charge a certain rate for my time. Along with that, I mean, like I said, it's a part of entrepreneurship, so you learn all sides of business and it's beneficial in so many different ways. But I would say probably when I was like 15, 16, I just saw consistency in my business. Simple.
Did your family support it from the beginning and how do they look at it now?
I would say my family definitely supported it, but they probably didn't think it could grow to the scale that it has and that it will. So I'm just excited for the future.
What was the hardest part about starting young?
Hardest part about starting young is definitely the credibility. You don't have much experience, so you gotta do the best with what you're given.
Definitely.
You don't have a lot to work with, so your ceiling is already much lower than others, so your standard has to be much higher than others.
Because people are already like 14.
Yeah, they're 14, 15 years old doing crazy work, so it's
Yeah.
up to you to actually bridge that gap.
Yeah. Did you ever mess somebody's hair up when you first started?
I would say, yeah, I definitely messed some people's hair up. I mean, I wasn't perfect when I first started. I don't think anybody is, but apart from that, I mean, you know, your wrist slips. You know, you go a little bit higher, a little bit lower than you wanted to. So, I mean, I feel like it's a part of the process. You know, the more you mess up, the more you see how you can improve.
Definitely. Where are those friends today that you messed up? They forgive you?
I would say to the people that I messed up from the start, I'm sorry. And most of them are with me. They trusted the process, so I am blessed to have those still with me.
What was the worst haircut experience you've ever had?
Look, the worst haircut experience I ever had was a guy that came to me when I was charging $5, $10, you know, nothing crazy at all. And then he decides to stick with me through the process. And when I was charging about 15, 20 bucks, you know, a little bit more experience, I don't know, it's just a bad day for bro and just did not result good. And so, long story short, you know, bro was critiquing the haircut in every which way and I wasn't even done. So I had to ask bro to leave. And yeah, that was the end of that story.
That's crazy. How did you get your first paying clients?
I got my first paying clients by social media and word of mouth. So I feel like they both came in around the same time, but of course word of mouth comes in first because you ask somebody to cut their hair and then they trust you. Yeah. But ultimately, I think it came within the first month of cutting hair. And that was really off of me cutting people for free. And then those people coming and telling me, hey, I think you can charge a certain amount.
What was the first thing you bought with barber money?
The first thing I bought with barber money was more barber supplies because, the key is to reinvest into your business. So that's the routine, that's the system.
Hell yeah. How did you go from cutting friends to building real clientele?
Look, you have to separate business and friendships when it comes to relations. So I went from cutting friends to cutting real clientele at the moment that I realized whoever is in my chair is my client. So my passion is cutting hair. So it all aligns, it all comes together.
What separates SoloChops from other barbers?
I would say what separates SoloChops from other barbers has been the same aspect since the start, which is detail. I feel like I take pride in what I do. I don't do it for the money. And on the same aspect of that, I hold such a high standard of what I do, and that's gotten me pretty far.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned from cutting hair?
Everybody's going through something. At the end of the day, whether it's you, your friend, your family members, everybody is going through something and everybody has a story. So I think that's something to take into account, whether it's getting food, going to the movies, getting a haircut, or doing anything else. Somebody is always going through something.
And what does that mean to you? So people you talk a lot with people, they tell you stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you hear different stories, bro. People come in here with different experiences, and you can see how that plays in their life. How they speak, how they just move. They move different. If you have a certain experience in the past rather than somebody who's probably had a much more positive experience.
Yeah, and you see them next time.
Yeah, and it builds off from that.
What's your busiest day you've ever had?
The busiest day I ever had was a Saturday, and that was during Christmas. So yeah, Christmas, not gonna lie, is deadly.
How many people did you have that day?
I think I cut around 23 people in one day.
Holy.
But I wasn't charging too much, and I was really hungry for the haircut, so I had to get something done.
So how much were you charging, and how much do you think you made that day?
I think I was charging $20 to $25, so I made 2 times 2 is 40. Probably made nowhere more than like $400 or $500 in the day, but that was a lot for that time.
Yeah.
And I think at that rate, I probably would have made near 1,000. So that's a lot of haircuts.
Have you ever thought about quitting?
I think I've definitely thought about not committing to cutting hair as much, but never quitting. And I think it always revolves back to making sure that plan A always works. Because if you start getting misguided on plan B or C or whatever it is, you're not committed to plan A. So your thought process that is not going to work. So plan A will always work.
What's the biggest mistake clients make when getting a haircut?
The biggest mistake clients make when getting a haircut has to be not having a reference or something to work off of. If you don't have a photo, a video, or something to work off of, guys, how do you expect to get a good haircut?
What's the most requested haircut right now?
Oh, tapers all day, every day.
What's the hardest haircut to do?
The hardest haircut for me personally has to be a high fade.
What's the most expensive cut you've ever done?
Look, the most I ever got paid for a haircut was probably, I think it was like 120 or 140, some around there. Some calm. We working our way up.
Is it a house call?
Yeah, no, it's actually paid in here.
No way.
Yeah.
Damn, well,
I mean, I feel like house call, you gotta charge more,
Yeah.
so it's like a given. But like
just off the love?
Yeah, just off the love over here. Yeah,
Dang.
120, 140.
Hell yeah, bro. Have you ever had a celebrity, rapper, athlete, or influencer in your chair?
I think I've had a lot of underground celebrities in terms of like local celebrities, but I mean, I cut Big X the Plug's brother and manager. It was his blood brother and manager. But nah, nothing more crazy than that. I mean, I've cut Nick, so that's pretty up there.
Me?
You know Nick?
Nick what?
Yeah, Nick.
Nick, me.
Yeah, you.
This nigga. What's the weirdest client request you've ever gotten? A bush fade?
Bro, skip that question.
How much money can a young barber realistically make?
Look, a young barber can realistically make, I would say, let's say on average, 4K a month. You can replace a regular 9 to 5 with cutting hair easily.
So you don't work?
Nah,
do
nah,
that while
nah.
you work.
I've never ever filled out a application.
Because you started real young.
I mean, I started young and I established myself.
What's the biggest check you've made in a week?
In 1 week, I think I've made close to $2,000.
What would you tell a 15-year-old trying to get into barbering?
If you're a 15-year-old trying to get into barbering, I would strictly tell you to ask the nearest person next to you if you can cut their hair. And if you can gain their trust, that already builds up more confidence. And if you can do a decent haircut, that builds more confidence. If you can keep that going, you've done it, bro.
Is barbering more talent or business?
I would say barbering is definitely passion, because it revolves around talent and business, but ultimately it's passion. If you're in it for the business, you probably don't got talent. And if you're in it for the talent, you're probably gonna lack on the business just because of how much you love the game. And if that's your story, then that's your story. Everybody got their own story.
What mistakes are keeping barbers broke?
Not treating their own business how they want their clients to treat it. If you don't hold the same standard for yourself, how do you expect your client to hold that standard? And if you don't have that, then you can't maintain a business.
What's the goal? Owning a shop, multiple shops, or
I
something
would
big?
say I would say the goal can vary with time, but overall for me is owning a studio. Because if I can own a studio, that one gives me ownership. A lot of people are stuck renting a building, but owning a shop. You can own the brand, doesn't mean you're gonna make money. But if you own the property, that means you have money regardless. That's an asset right there. So for me, it's owning a studio that I can call mine, and maybe if there's enough space to hire some barbers, then that's another blessing.
Hell yeah. What's something people assume about barbers that's completely wrong?
Something people assume about barbers that is completely wrong is free time. Yeah, you don't get free time, bro.
What motivates you to keep going?
What motivates me to keep going is progress. I mean, once you've put so much time, money, and effort into something, you want to see it get to a certain extent where you feel satisfied. And if you can do that, maybe you can level up to something bigger. But so far right now, it's building my foundation.
So I seen you were cutting your own hair. Is that what you be doing? You cut your own hair, or do you sometimes
I think that's where I started developing my eye for cutting hair. Because you start to see, all right, I want my eyebrows to look like this. I want my mustache to look like this. And that developed my eye for it, right? I start to see, all right, maybe it has to look like this and not like that.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Do you still go to other barbers?
Yeah, I still go to other barbers. A barber got a barber.
Would you want to shout out your other barber?
Hey, I'm gonna shout out my guy Polo Phase, bro. Listen, he's a young prodigy in Hurst, Texas, as well as my own, but he's on a whole different level. He's a much younger. He's still starting off his foundation,
Wow.
and he's raw.
Wow.
My boy Cole with it.
Hell yeah. What's the biggest barber pet peeve?
Biggest barber pet peeve has to be when the client cannot stop turning back to talk to you. Because, like, you still want to get the haircut done. And I feel like if you're a good barber, you can still do it efficiently. But the client has to stay looking straight. But my dog, you can't be turning back, bro. Like, this can't happen.
What's the most disrespectful thing a client has done?
Probably miss their appointment and not let me know.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, if you can respect my business, if you can let me know, you know, if you're not coming or
Because
not.
now that's a whole booking.
Yeah,
You just
you
lost
feel me?
money. You
Yeah.
lost money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who's harder to deal with, kids, teenagers, or grown men?
Grown men.
Really? Why?
More stubborn. Kids, you can tell them right from wrong, but
Yeah.
grown-ups, they think they know right from wrong.
Where do you see SoloChops in 5 years?
Look, I see SoloChops in 5 years having a personal brand with maybe other branches of revenue and hopefully monetizing my content. Not hopefully, I will monetize my content.
What is one goal you're chasing right now?
One goal I'm chasing right now is just peace. If you can enjoy what you have right now, just await the blessings that are in the future. But if you're constantly striving for more and more and more and thinking that you don't have enough, you're gonna be in a forever cycle of trying to feel satisfied, and it never will be.
If you could give one piece of advice to young entrepreneurs, what would it be?
If I could give one piece of advice to other young entrepreneurs, those that are obviously younger, I would say to strictly keep learning. That is, it won't hurt you, but you will face trial and errors. So that's inevitable. Just keep learning. But again, it won't be easy.
Okay, let's get into some rapid fire questions. These are just going to be 2 things and you just answer.
bet.
Early mornings or late nights?
I'd rather work early mornings.
Fort Worth or Dallas?
Oh, Fort Worth, babe.
Cash or Cash App?
Oh, cash, for sure.
Drake or Lil Baby?
Oh, little baby.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Cut 20 heads a day or own a shop?
Own a shop.
What's the most overrated haircut?
The most overrated haircut gotta be a taper.
What's the most underrated haircut?
Most underrated haircut gotta be a Boosie fade, bro.
Bro. Dream celebrity client?
Dream celebrity client gotta be Nick.
One word to describe yourself?
One word to describe myself? Him.
One goal before turning 21?
Before turning 21, I definitely want to retire my grandparents.
Best advice you've ever received?
Best advice that I've ever received is to trust the process and not rush it.
If you weren't a barber, what would you be?
If I was not a barber, I would be either a soccer player or somewhere else in the entrepreneurship realm. Probably not legal.
You're 18 years old, built a name for yourself, and you're already making money doing what you love. What's the message you want people to remember after watching this interview?
Listen, if you actually watch this, one thing that I want you to remember is to love yours. If you can't love what you do or love what's around you, it goes back to my other point. You will never be satisfied. And that's that.
All right, guys. Well, shit, that wraps it up for today. We done with this interview. Appreciate y'all for watching. Let's go.
Hey, I found me a way now, I gotta go get it. The only thing that I've been saying to myself, the last thing that I've been thinking is stopping, cause I'm about to give me a 10 in my belt. It's crazy, but let me just show you the way I've been thinking. I think that it really can help. Cause nobody wants you to win it as bad as your own. The hating is bad for your health. If you look at the way that they're talking and pick up attention, they're telling you everything.